do you handle, so I have a challenging situation in my company right now. So this particular individual, 10 out of 10 character, 10 out of 10 authentic. I wouldn't say the desire is the 2 out of 10, the psycho competitive desire, but definitely I would say a 7 in desire. Personality 9, IQ 7, but unfortunately the talent is lacking. They're perfect in the company. They're always last in sales. They're texting all my employees here, go kill it this week, guys. He obviously wasn't eligible to come. How long do you allow that to go on to where they're not performing? They check all the boxes, but the talent just isn't realized.
1099 or W-2?
I pay $80,000 basis plus salary,
So
or plus
W-2.
commission. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you. We run this exercise with our sales guys, okay? And here's what the exercise is. What do I press? Screen or canvas? Canvas, okay. So I had our finance department run the following report. Every one of our sales guys, the report comes up, and it shows what we paid you in salary, what we paid you in commission. So let's just kind of make that number up. $600,000, whatever you want to make it, $150,000. Let's use 150, okay? John, Mary, $450,000. Jack, $220,000. Bobby, $97,000 combined. Okay, no problem. On John that we paid him 150, what did the company make? 280. Okay, so 1.9x. Yep. On Mary, 450, what do we make? 1.35. Really? Yes. 3x. On Jacob, 220, we made 110. So half. Yes. On Bobby, 97, we made $600,000. 6x. Where is he at? Minus. How long has he been with you?
7 months.
7 months. Okay, so
Andy's family.
how hard is it to get somebody, can you go back to that chart, please? How hard is it to everybody in the room here? How hard is it to find the 10 here? How hard is it? How hard? Very hard, okay? So he's got the desire, he's got the personality, he's got the IQ, he doesn't have the talent. Does he not have the talent or the skill set?
So I was contemplating that in my own head. And the reason why I think I've done a halfway decent job of training people is everybody else has hit. So every other salesperson.
Except him.
Except for him.
Okay, so guess what? Have you considered moving him to a different position?
Yeah, that's been on the top of my mind.
And so you know what we'll do? And many times, we've done that at BDC many times. We'll sit some of our guys that are just not good at BDC and sales, but we love them. We try to find another place for them. You know, we will move. If you are here, are you kidding me? Like if you're good here and you don't have this, I'll move you because it's hard to find a person like that. It's so hard to find a person like that. And that's the benefit of sometimes in sales. You'll find some guys that are not going to work out in that place. You move them to a different place. It's still going to be fine. Okay, anything else on this topic before we move on? No? Yes, Francois.
How do you find the character, the authentic, the desire, stuff like that? Because you asked the question, and a lot of people said what they're doing, but what do you do to find them out?
So this
because we had a lot of problems. Like we hired 3 people last summer.
Yep.
We fired 2.
Yep.
1 last week.
W-2 or 1099?
W-2.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're understanding because we're working with you now that we only work on IQ, talent, personality. We never go on the character. Yeah, you kind of feel it, but and authenticity, but desire. How you catch that or you capture that with the interview. All the other aspects that will make a difference.
So Paul's my CTO. Okay, Paul worked at Cantor for, I don't know how many years, 10 years, 13 years. You were there for a minute, yeah. With Howard Lutnick. He's been all over the world. He helped get the businesses off the ground, okay? We do the interview. I ask him a question. I said, Paul, are your best working years behind you or ahead of you? What kind of a Paul am I going to get? You got a great resume, but what am I going to get? Because I'm rolling. And I'm texting 24/7. I'm the guy do you sure you want to go with a guy like me? Because I'm going on that phase. So I'm telling you up front to almost scare you a little bit of what's going on, because I know we're going to confront that. Make sense? So that's in the interview process, in the video, in all of that, so you know what it is to work at this place. Sometimes we're afraid to tell the truth. No, tell the truth.
You're selling the company, like, please come.
No. So when I sell, so here, and by the way, do you know what's attractive?
This is what we do.
Do you know what's attractive? Let me tell you what's attractive. When you're recruiting a wife, how do amateurs do it? It's so much courtship. Oh my God, I love you. I'm going to make your life so amazing, and it's going to be awesome. And every night we're going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And you're like, oh my God. And then what happens? Disappointment. You automatically, it's disappointment.
That's a good point. I did the opposite with my wife. I said, I'm not going to be there at night, but our life will be better.
But by the way, if I remember correctly, this is your second marriage. Is this your?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that means we learned from it, right? If you remember, so first time maybe it was different, and the second time I was like, dude, I'm not doing it like that again. Here's how I'm doing it. So when my wife and I spoke, I'm like, look, I'm not the 6:30 dinner. I'm not this. We went to, you've heard me tell this story maybe. I went to a therapist at our church, and a guy, I said, what's the key to success in your marriage of being married for 32, 33 years? He says, never once have we missed dinner at 6 o'clock at the house for 33 years. I said, what does your wife do for a living? She's a school teacher just like I was before I became a marriage counselor. I said, thank you so much. I put the money on the table. We're leaving. 5 minutes. He says, we just got started. I said, I'm not a school teacher, neither is she. This is not a fit. All the best to you. We left. Watch what happens next. I go to Dudley, who runs the church, 15, 20,000 members. I have her goes and meets with his wife. He's always in demand. He's always working. He's always preaching. He's always on the road. She goes to him. The advice she gives to her says, are you sure you want to share your husband with the rest of the world? Because you have to be okay with that. What do you mean by that? Everyone's going to want to talk to your husband. Everywhere I go, everyone wants to talk to Dudley. Everyone's going to want to talk to Patrick. Are you okay with that? Are you okay when sometimes at night he comes home, you're not in the mood to do anything, but he wants you have to sexually please him? Pastor's wife told that to my wife. Yes or no, babe? This is the top 10. Number 8 on the list was always please your husband when he needs it. She says to her, Dudley wants it to be number 1, but I have it at number 8. But guess what? That's the conversation. So we need to recruit the same way instead of how perfect and how awesome. Like in the interview, say, look, we're a startup. We have a lot of problems. Can you imagine saying that in the interview? Who says that in the interview? Nobody. We want to act like we're perfect. We're a startup. We have a lot of issues. Some of us are wearing 2 or 3 hats. This is going to be a lot of work. The next 3 to 5 years is going to be chaotic. You have to want to do this job. But long term, if we do this, it's going to be life-changing. History books will write about it. It's going to be massive for everybody. We're all in. We're going for everything. And we're looking for the people that want to do it. But if the best days of your work is behind us, we don't want you here because it's going to be a conflict. I just want to tell you that up front. Are you okay with that? So, by the way, you know what? You know, an assistant interviewed me, and I told her that. You know what she said to me? I said, you sure you want to be my assistant? Let me tell you how I work. Boom, boom. She was an assistant for a billionaire. Boom, 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 boom. At the end, she says, well, Patrick, no one's ever interviewed me like this before. No, I don't want to do that. The billionaire client of mine lets me work from home 5 days a week, and I said, she says, respectfully, I can't be your assistant. I said, thank you so much for being honest. We moved on. We need to get into this type of recruiting, not this type of recruiting. Who recruits like that, by the way? Who's just straight up with people when you recruit them? Great. Okay. Who used to be a little bit softer, now you're more direct when you're interviewing and recruiting. Okay. You've always been direct. Great. Since day one. That works. It's effective. Okay. Any other questions before we move on to the next topic? Yes.
So if you run a real estate company like I do, you have properties all over the country, you have communities, et cetera, and you're traveling a great deal, let's say once or twice a month, and you're not around your core executives in your corporate headquarters. it always bothers me that 1 week or 10 days that I'm not there in a month, not setting a right example. They know I'm traveling around, I'm working on the phone with them, but I'm not there to authenticate, to teach, to be an example. And no one as good as you are, even your top CEO.
Yeah, so do you guys have a group chat, text community that you guys communicate with each other every day?
We have an ops meeting every Tuesday, and then we have a Zoom call with the entire company every Friday.
No, it's not what I'm asking.
Okay.
Do you guys have a community chat with all the executives that everybody checks every day or they go through?
No.
Okay. So let me tell you what I did when we started PHP. Here's what I did when we started PHP. Everybody has their own office, and they don't know where I'm at. So I have to set the tone for all these offices we have nationwide, and I'm on the road. Well, we have a group community that everybody talks to each other, and I would make a video, and I would say, hey guys, I'm at such and such right now. We just ran 3 meetings today. Started off 7 o'clock in the morning. We sat down with this, and that. A lot of good things coming back when I get back there on next Wednesday. Excited to see what's going to be taking place. A 2-minute update. For them to watch and they say, holy moly, what is this guy doing? He's everywhere. Watch what Trump did. 2016, he's going against Hillary. 2015. If you remember the last 90 days of that election, everybody, including New York Times, Wall Street Journal, says, what's the chance of Hillary winning? Who remembers this? The day of was a 99% or 90%. It was some ridiculous number. But if you remember the last 90 days, Trump would do 3 live streams. 9 o'clock Ohio, 1 o'clock Indiana, 7 o'clock Illinois, Chicago. And you would see it. And who's seeing it? We're seeing it. It's being documented. And you saw Hillary would only do 1 a week. Guess what happened? He used the tools to show the world how he was campaigning. And through the tools, he became a president. So did Obama. Obama used the tools as well. McCain didn't. Obama became the president. So to me, nowadays, what you're doing, you have to be able to document and communicate with your guys. Hey, I'm over here right now. We just had a meeting with this. Update them. So communication platform, you can use many of them to talk to one another so they know where you're at. But that way, that's still work ethic. That's still setting the example. Some people run an office where everybody's together. Some people run a national. I ran a national with 200 plus offices with thousands of agents. How do they know how I'm working? How do they know what I'm doing? I had to document and show it to them constantly and share the examples of how everybody else was working. It's almost like your own ESPN network. Da-da-da, da-da-da, and update. Hey, let me tell you guys what's going on. Right now I'm in New York. We just had an incredible meeting. We're looking at these 2 properties. I sat with this guy that's this. Here's what we're doing. What's your day looking like? How many meetings did you have so far today? Here's what we're doing. You're driving, gaining respect. Does that make sense?
What you just saw here is an interaction we're having with a CEO, founder, and executive, different challenges that they're facing at Bet David Consulting, a firm we run where we do engagements for many business owners from 60-plus countries around the world. It could be a person that's trying to exit and they need a pitch deck to be in place. It could be a company that's having a hard time with accountability with their executive team or their leadership team. They want to put a calibration system in place that we use ourselves. It could be a conversation about somebody that wants to improve their compensation plan to create a little bit more momentum and drive with their leadership team or their sales team. Or it could be conflicts between business partners that is taking place. A wide variety of things that we do for our clients at Bet David Consulting. If you want to learn more, go to betdavid.com, fill out the information. Somebody will get a hold of you.